So is this the line for Dragon's Maze?
This is gonna be awesome!
Wow, the line is really long.
Mommy, there's no shade.
We'll meet up later,
How long will you wait?
as long as it takes.
So you guys are only gonna do this one ride all day?
It won't be that long, probably.
Mom, can you get us food?
But wait, are they cutting?
Caleb, food is so far away.
Should I say something?
Daddy, pick me up.
Mom!
Hey, there's a line here.
Daddy, swing me.
That's like 20 people.
my God.
One person holds the line for 20 people? This is bullshit.
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Business as usual is a thing of the past, but the entrepreneurial spirit keeps us closing in on our dream. That's why U.S. Bank makes sure solutions are a conversation away, so we can help you adapt and evolve your business, no matter what comes up. Because even in uncertainty, you can be certain we have your back. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
With over $500,000 in contest prize money up for grabs, the NFL is back in action, and so is winning season at MyBookie. Head to mybookie.ag to choose from a variety of boosts and free bets and get in on the fan favorite $100,000 super contest, which only costs $10 to enter. Pick 5 games against the spread each week. Each win earns you a point, and each point gets you closer to the grand prize. In order to get started, make your first deposit over at mybookie.ag. Use our promo code AbsoluteDGen to instantly receive double your deposit. That's right, double your money to double your winnings with your first ever deposit using our promo code AbsoluteDGen. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Absolute sports betting degeneracy.
Hey everybody, Arch here, and it is Saturday morning, which means it's time to talk the National Football League Week 4. What's going on, Max?
I feel like I owe our listeners an apology for being a filthy fucking liar right to their goddamn faces, or ear holes, if you will, because I've been saying for weeks now that I needed to wait until after week 4 data to start making money lines. I got 2 money lines today. So I apologize for lying, but I think you'll like my picks. I promise you that.
Oh boy, I feel some really bad. I feel a really bad kiss of death coming up on a Moneyline Panther.
I think so. I think there's going to be a Moneyline KOD today. I think so.
Probably. Welcome to the Mafia. I always enjoy bringing you Moneyline Mafia guys, and really super proud of Max to jump on board with the Mafia this early. Listen, I know we're going to talk football all season, or all day, but there is nothing like waking up and looking and getting a big boost to my World Series pick. Finding out that the Dodgers may be without Kershaw.
Definitely a big help. Big help.
What
there.
a get for the Dodgers.
That's so funny. So you're pumped. You think the Dodgers' chances increase now that they got Kershaw and his playoff troubles out of the picture?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. He's good for every game except for that one, right? That one was terrible. Yeah.
It's the most critical game usually, too.
Right. Yeah. Usually. Yeah.
Right. He's good until he's needed, backs against the wall, pressure situation, those kind of big moments.
Right.
Haven't seen him show up except, bubble champs.
Look, the decade before the Houston Astros cheating didn't matter. It was only the Houston Astros cheating that messed him up.
That's it. That's all it is. Yeah. Jesus. Doesn't that sound like another pitcher, too? Didn't another pitcher get a PTSD from that as well? What the hell's his name? The guy that's on San Diego now.
Oh, your boy, you?
Yeah, Yu Darvish, right?
Darvish.
Wasn't it the same thing with him, that Houston kind of messed up his mind, where he was absolute trash before that anyway?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole sticky situation there.
Yes.
All right. So Panthers excited. I hope this translates to the NFL. That's what we're talking about today. All NFL, all day. Max, what are we looking at to start?
Guys, I think this is it. Detroit at Chicago.
Oh, man.
Took the longest field goal in NFL history to beat the Lions last week. And I don't think the Bears are going to be that lucky. If you ask me which defense was the better defense, I'll say it's the Bears. Detroit gives up the most points per game. They rank 22nd in total yards given up. But if you ask me which defense seems to be improving week to week, I'll tell you it's Detroit's. They held Lamar Jackson in check. They held that Baltimore offense to 19 points on 387 yards. The Bears, they gave up 418 yards last week, 26 points. They were kind of regressing, whereas I think Detroit's defense is kind of gelling, as it should be, with the quote-unquote preseasons that they have, right? Bears had a total net yards of 47 of offense last week. 47 net total yards of offense. You know, it's sad when I can say that the Lions, with Jared fucking Goff at quarterback, has the more stable and reliable quarterback situation between the two teams. But it's true. Chicago's offense is just an absolute mess right now. Their coaching's not helping the situation. This is it. Give me Detroit for the outright win. $50 money line bet on the Lions.
This one, the only thing about this game that stands out to me is that the Bears are even favored. And I just can't find out why. The Bears should be 0-3. The only reason they beat the Bengals is because Joe Burrow had a very, very off night on that short week, Thursday night, throwing 3 interceptions. He had 4 turnovers. That wasn't a Thursday night, but it was a short week for Burrow. It was more of an indictment on the Bengals than it was the Bears played a good game. The Lions just continue to get better. They've played against 3 playoff caliber teams in the 49ers, the Packers, and the Ravens, and they've gotten better in each one of those games. Like Max pointed out, it took a record field goal to beat them last week with Baltimore. Lions D has been bad, and we talked about how bad they were last season, but Campbell's got them going the right direction. The Bears offense is just worse, and I don't care who the quarterback is. I'm in complete agreement here. I'm going to bump up my unit size. We're going to $50 as well. Money line on the Detroit Lions.
Did you get a pill to do that?
What did I do?
If your money line lasts more than 8 hours, you should see a doctor.
God damn it.
Which is actually...
Arch gets my jokes. Thank you.
Oh, my only question in this game was I going to do it twice? Was I going to take the Detroit +3 and the money line, kind of double dip here? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to throw $25 on the Detroit Lions to win outright. We have a kiss of death on a money line.
Wow. On the Detroit fucking Lions.
+140. That's the best line I could find.
Amazing. Well, you called it. We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was.
I know Arch loves his prop bets. If there's a prop bet out there about first coach fired, you might want to jump on that right now. Just coming Monday.
He put himself in an unwinnable position. Whether that was ownership and the GM putting him there, he can't win now.
No, he's fucked. And again, like all you need is to watch the Bills go up big this week, and then Mitch Trubisky gets some garbage time and he throws a touchdown, and that'll be the fucking salt on the wounds right there. Next game up for me, Tennessee at New York. It's not a question of will the Jets lose. It's a question of whether they're going to score double digits. And the answer is yes. They're going to get to double digits. They're going to get 11 points. That means that they're going to get a 2-point conversion in there for some reason. I don't know why. The game's going to be out of hand, but they're going to go for 2. Jets have scored a total of 2 touchdowns this season. Derrick Henry has scored 3 all by himself. Now, Tennessee is a bit banged up wide receiver-wise, which probably does mean a healthy dose of Derrick Henry this week. As for their Jets, you look at their defense, it hasn't been terrible. But being on the field as often as they are, they rank 23rd in time of possession in the league. It's bound to just break. The offense cannot do anything. And it's a team that averages 6.7 points per game. 250 yards of total offense per game. They're only better than New Orleans and Chicago. There you go, Chicago. 47 net total yards last week. I don't like eating this much chalk on a road team. Never my preference. But I have this Titans team winning by 17 fucking points, so I'll call this a value play. $50 bet on Tennessee.
A value play or a downright trap. I'm agree with you here too. I'm looking at this line going, okay, look, there's no AJ Brown. He's already ruled out. Julio Jones already ruled out. Like, it's going to be Derrick Henry and 40 fucking carries, and it's not going to matter. 6 points. Both those wide receivers are out, and the line is still only 6. I think it stinks.
Yeah, it's getting better because people are betting on the Jets, thinking that this is the week that they're going to finally turn things around and miraculously score over 10 fucking points. Like it boggles my mind to see people betting on this game for the Jets.
I don't think the Jets can beat the Bears. I think the Bears have beat them by 2 touchdowns. This is the Jets are terrible. They've scored 20 points total in 3 games. The Titans do that in a half. Like, this is a blowout. I'm in agreement. I'm going to lay $50 on the Titans again, and I'm going to go with another $50 on the under, only because I disagree with Max. I don't think the Jets get to 11. I don't think they contribute to this total. So I'm going to put $50 on the under.
44.5.
44.5.
Man, there's something going on. This stinks to high heavens, and I don't know what's going. Where's you said all the money's coming in on Tennessee?
No, the money's coming on the Jets. Look, I can't explain it. It just seems like people think that the Jets are going to turn things around miraculously this week against Tennessee.
It's so weird. I
think it's an overreaction to the wide receiver news that Brown and Jones are both out.
Maybe a 1.5 difference on a road favorite. That's very scary. I've been treating the Jets like a normal football team all season, and they've been proving me wrong all season. This seemed to be the most likely team to win Tennessee today and just blow them out of the water. I'll jump into the trap too. $25 on the Titans -6.
KOD.
2 for 2. 2 for 2 on the goddamn KODs.
Man,
this is awful.
This looks something stinks.
Next one up for me, Indianapolis at Miami. It's the Jacoby Brissett revenge game, right? Too bad his Dolphins are going to come up short, and the Colts are going to manage to get their first win of the season. You look at defense, and I've never been super high up on the Colts defense. I always thought that they were a little bit overrated, but one thing that they do well is their zone coverage. And one thing Jacoby Brissett does not do well against is zone coverage. Miami's offensive line has cracks in it this season. They've given up 10 sacks in 3 games. So I think Indianapolis is going to get to Brissett today. I do think Jalen Waddle is going to have a solid game. He's been the bright spot of this Miami team. But the rest of this Dolphins team just looks like a case study in regression, especially that defense. They've given up 401 yards per game, 27.3 points per game. That is not the Dolphins team we saw last season. And we have to start to question again what last season really was. I think Wentz is finally going to have his breakout game for Indy. I think he leads them to a win if he stays healthy. He can actually play. $50 money line bet on Indianapolis. I think they outright win this one.
I'm going to give you tons of moral support. I'm on 6 games today. This was one I looked at. I definitely don't trust the Dolphins. This is another one that got me scratching my head of why they're even a favorite. I get that they're home, but even that game against the Raiders last week, they scored 28 points, but there's a little bit of a mirage there. They really statistically were not in that game. The Raiders had 170 yards more than the Dolphins. They only put up 330 yards of total offense, not even 200 in the air. They had that pick 6 for a touchdown. So they got that turnover and a little bit of help. But this Dolphins team doesn't generate a lot of yards, don't generate a lot of points. Even in a loss, I think that close of a loss to the Raiders, it was kind of fluky. The Colts can score. Jonathan Taylor's going to be a beast. The guy gets more touches inside the red zone than any other running back. That is eventually going to translate into touchdowns. He hasn't been punching it in, but he's getting the carries. I think that comes to an end this week. I agree with you. I think the Colts are the play. Tons of moral support. I just wasn't on it. So a heavy lean on the Colts.
I like the Colts this week as well, but I like the points more than the money line. It's a nice little 2.5 from Bet365 is what I'm going to jump on. $25 on the Colts. It's close. I do have them winning some of the time, but I always have them keeping it close within a point. So $25 Colts.
Can't hate you for that. Hey, I got one more. We'll take a break after that. Let's talk Houston versus Buffalo. Davis Mills going to get the start once again for Houston. Going to look to take advantage of a Buffalo pass rush that's just lacked oomph this year. It's just there's nothing happening in that front 7. If he has some time, maybe Mills can move the ball, put some points on the board for the Texans. I don't think it's going to be enough for them to get close to a win. I still have them losing by double digits here, but I think they keep it closer than 17 fucking points. So I'm going to lean Houston with the points here. What I'm betting on is the over. So, yeah, I mean, Arch has kind of hinted at Josh Allen's regression, but he's still also throwing a fucking touchdown in 14 straight games. There's going to be 15 games for sure, and probably going to toss multiple touchdowns in this game. I think points get scored on both sides today. A $50 bet on the over. I had this over 47,
yes.
Correct?
Yep.
So my total in this game is 55, so I got wiggle room.
Have you looked at this Bills team the last 2 weeks? I think you combine the Bills, what you've seen the last 2 weeks, and the Steelers, what you've seen the last 2 weeks. You can say week 1 was kind of a mirage. Pittsburgh's not good, and Buffalo definitely is not bad. Josh Allen, I don't see the regression in these last 2 weeks. They put up nearly 80 points in their last 2 games. This Bills offense is clicking. That week 1, just almost all across the board. You almost have to just disregard it because of the lack of preseason reps that the starters took. Everybody really took some time off, and I think we're starting to find the identity of these teams. This Buffalo offense is really good. They've got that two-headed monster in Singletary and Moss at running back. I think Buffalo does roll today, but I'm not laying 17 points, so I'm going to lean Buffalo. I wouldn't be surprised if they win this thing by in the 20s, but yeah, I'll lean on Buffalo.
Right? Yeah, it looks like too many points to me too. I'm not going to touch it. Josh Allen did look a lot better than he had last week, so maybe he can continue to get correct against against Houston. We'll see. But no, the numbers are clear, man. Up until last week, Josh Allen was definitely looking more like the previous years than he was last season. Allen.
All right. Hey, after the break, we're going to talk possibly the game of the day. I'll hint at the game of the night maybe after the break. Let's talk about Odds Jam. Developed by Stanford engineers, Odds Jam is an innovative solution designed to identify odds that make you the winner every single time. I'm not lying. You could be the winner every single time. They have the fastest real-time data to spot discrepancies between different sports books. Help users play risk-free bets. Profits average 3% every day, which you can imagine just keeps adding up to big earnings. There's no catch, just the smartest betting software on the market. Beat the book every time with Odds Jam.
Ooh, Max, you alluded to it. Baltimore, Denver, right?
That's it. Let's dive right into it. Game of the night. Washington, Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
No, kidding. Oh. Of course, it's Tampa Bay, New England. Storylines are pretty plenty in this one. You got Brady and Gronk heading back to Foxborough for the first time as opposition. You got Brady, who went on to win a Super Bowl, while the Patriots just absolutely sucked last season. And I don't know if this season's shown enough that New England can be a competitor this year. Their rookie quarterback has been so-so through 3 games. So. They just lost their starting running back, right, Panther? Is White gone for the season?
Well, White wasn't their starting running back, but he has been IL'd. He's gone. Damian Harris is going to be their starter.
Damian Harris is starting. So, but they just lost James White, who was part of their offense. He's gone for the year. I think Brady, he's going to have a good game. He's gonna will himself to a great game. Like Arch, what were you saying in the pre-show?
Most passing touchdowns in a single game is 7. Brady's target number has to be 8.
Honestly, and the fact adding to that is that he's only 68 yards away from eclipsing Drew Brees for the most passing yards. Right, so he's gonna go out there. We know that Tampa's defense is a bit banged up, so maybe Mac Jones could have a nice day. But it's not going to be nice enough to be able to beat the former Patriots quarterback this week. $50 bet on the Bucks. Oof. They're going to win in Foxborough. Cover this -7. I have
7. Yep.
They're going to cover that. And defenses be damned. This fucking thing is going to be some Sunday night madness. $50 bet on the over here. I think both teams are going to score some points here.
Interesting, because I don't know how Mac Jones is going to complete any passes since his leading wide receiver James White is out of the game. They've done this 3 weeks of quarterback dump off that Tom Brady's become the master of. It'd be interesting to see. Brady's missing some pieces himself. Giovanni Bernard is already ruled out, and it looks like Rob Gronkowski is doubtful for this game. I thought I read this morning that he won't be playing
play.
Sunday night.
Oh, he'll play.
Yeah, you would think so.
He's taking the needle to beat Bill.
Yeah. He'll be out there.
But first off, Tampa Bay's not losing this game. They're not losing 2 in a row. They're coming off that kind of a stinker against the Rams, but Rams kind of took it to them. But look, if you want some fired up Tampa Bay Buccaneers here, this is the game that Brady. We've been shitting on Belichick. There's a book out there shitting on Belichick, and I think Tom Brady won't say anything. I think he's high road Tom, right? He gets his high roadness from Max. He'll be high road Tom out of his mouth, but I do think he puts up a ton of numbers Sunday night. I think this game is not even close. We're not even sniffing 7. This thing's going to be like 20-point blowout or more. So I'm dropping $50 on the Buccaneers as well.
I'm not ready to just jump on Tampa Bay so cavalierly on the road -7. I mean, if there's one thing Belichick is good at, is it's attacking your weaknesses, and he's spent 20 years with Brady. He knows what Brady doesn't like, and I assume that's what Brady's going to see. Offensively, that's the big question for the Patriots. What can they do? We don't really know. So I'm going to lean New England plus a 7 at home. It seems like, I don't know. I'm never going to.
You can't let go of those demons of all those times that New England broke your heart.
I'm never going to dump on Belichick. He's the greatest. He's just stupid fuckers in New England. I will take him today. I'll trade you Reed for Belichick right now. You stupid motherfuckers that are just whining. Oh, Belichick. It was never Belichick. It was only Brady. God, you are dumb fuckers in Boston. I just can't believe how stupid you people are. It's shocking. I got a couple.
Then, real quick. Then the story came out. I sent it to you last night that apparently Bill O'Brien was trying to get fired from the Texans to take over and have a coup in New England and take over from Belichick.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's just insane.
Props.
Yeah. Brady, 2.5 touchdown passes over +120, under -125.
Over.
Way over.
Easy money.
I agree with that. Brady, half an interception, over -147, under +111.
Minus.
Oh, you think over?
I think it's over. Yeah,
so?
Because I mean, it's Bruce Arians' offense.
Right. Well, I don't think this Bruce Arians.
You're guaranteed to throw an interception a game.
Yeah. If we want to talk about shitting on, go ahead.
And I think he's going to throw the ball a lot. He's going to throw between 40 and 50 times. So there's going to be an opportunity for a mistake, even if it's not even they pick him off, tipped ball or something. I think it's highly likely he does throw one just because of the volume of attempts he's going to have.
I'll take the under in this one in Tom Brady's offense. I think Tom Brady's the de facto offensive coordinator on that team. All right, here's a good one for you. This is really interesting because the line is fascinating. Mac Jones, passing touchdowns 1.5. The over is +105. The under is -113.
I like the over, but there's no value at +105. I don't. It's just not there for me. It's over. Yeah, I need more money, Arch. I'm sorry. Greed is good.
Greed is good. It's an interesting line to me. These prop bets are telling us something. It's some interesting stuff. Yeah. All right. That's all I got.
It for me. That is it for me.
That's it. All right, let's go to what might be one of the highest scoring games this week. Cleveland Browns at the Minnesota Vikings. I have been shitting on one Mike Zimmer. Pretty good. For instance, last year. But if you look at this team, this offense, Kirk Cousins has been clicking on. Yeah, that's a guy you guys have been shitting on. Max has been a little bit on the Kirk Cousins apology tour because he's been playing.
Oh, no, I still hate his fucking face. I really do. I fucking hate him.
The offense is clicking. The defense, I mean, there's been some heartbreakers here. They lost week 1 overtime to the Bengals. They lost Kyler Murray with his little circus stunt show at the end of the game. The Vikings could be 3-0, but alas, they're not. And we put Mike Zimmer a little bit on the hot seat. The Browns are 2-1, probably could be 3-0. They could have beaten the Chiefs. My issue with the Browns is they're putting up these points, and I think they can put up more. They're not finishing drives. Baker Mayfield only has 2 touchdowns on the entire season. You guys realize the leading wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns in yardage is Kareem Hunt. Odell Beckham was out the first 2 games. Now Jarvis Landry's beat up. And so Hunt's been the only guy to play 3 games. They're just kind of beat up on the offense a little bit. But at home, this Viking offense, I think the way Cousins is playing, as much as I've been beaten up on Mike Zimmer, I think the play is Minnesota. I'm going to jump on another money line and take the Vikings at home.
Ooh.
See, I agree with you that Minnesota has a chance to win this game. If I was going to bet anything, I'd be taking them at home with those points. I'm just off this game. I got it way too close. I ran the numbers and I got Cleveland. My final score after running all the numbers is Cleveland 27, Minnesota 26. So within a point. So yeah, a lean on the Vikings at home getting those points. I just could not get there.
I'm on the opposite side entirely. Cleveland -2. I like this an awful lot. I think Cleveland matches up very well with Minnesota. I think we actually might see more points coming out of Cleveland. At least I hope so. I'm going to put $25 on Cleveland -2 on the road. I don't do this often. Just Tennessee.
Hey. God damn it. Oh, and side note here, or another bet, if you will, 51.5 is the total. There's going to be some points scored. This game is going to be like a college game. I love the over. I'm going to put another $50 on the over.
I like that.
I like the over. It's a lean on the over as well.
Baker Mayfield, Panther, passing touchdowns 1.5. The over's -125. The under's +119. I think there's value on the over here.
I think there's value on the under. I think same thing. He'll get into the red zone. They'll hand it off to Chubb. I know that the Minnesota secondary is so fucking bad. They'll get yardage on it. But to Panthers' point is there's not really many offensive weapons that can catch the ball and run it into the end zone. I think you're going to get close to the red zone and then hand it off, and that's how you're going to score those points.
Okay.
If he doesn't get the big plays, and with Jarvis Landry still being out, if he, puts all the pressure on Odell. If you don't get the big plays, I think Max might be right, but this team is just too offensively productive for them not to actually explode. There's 40-point potential out of this team on a weekly basis, and against the Viking defense, I think the value might be on the over for this particular game.
Okay. Do you think OBJ gets to 4.5 receptions? That's the prop bet here. I think he does.
4.5? He has to.
Yeah, 4.5. It's only -113. I like the. I like that play.
Yeah. He will. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one last one. This one has a lot of value in my mind. Kirk, 0.5 interceptions. The over's +140.
Yeah.
I mean, that Cleveland defense is pretty good. I think
it's getting better. Yeah.
And the value's there. I think the +140, and he has to throw one. I think the value is there to take a flyer.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Got you on board.
All right. Let's have a look at the Baltimore Ravens at the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos have gotten the greatest gift ever from the NFL schedulers, and that is the weakest schedule that you could ever imagine, and they've taken full advantage. 3-0 against the likes of the two New York teams and the Jacksonville Jaguars with a new coach and a new quarterback. Now, they've done very well against those three teams, but now the Baltimore Ravens come a-calling. This is a team that, they lost to Vegas. They beat Kansas City, but probably should have lost that game. And then it took a Justin Tucker 66-yarder to beat Detroit. The Ravens easily could be 0-3 when you really break it down. But I think Baltimore has way too much offensive firepower. I think they can move the ball on the Bronco defense. And I just don't – do we really know anything about Denver when you take on the Jets, the Giants, and the Jags? I know we like Teddy Bridgewater, but I just have questions. Maybe this week answers questions for maybe both of these teams. But on an even line, I'm going to go with the team I trust more. I'm going to put $50 on the Baltimore Ravens.
I don't like this one at all. I'm staying clear of this one. Just to your point, right? The NFL favoring schedules. Not only did Denver get those 3-week games, they get Baltimore, but they get Baltimore in Denver. They don't even have to travel. Baltimore has to come to Denver. After Baltimore struggled last week offensively, now they got to travel to Denver. Denver's defense pretty damn good. Denver getting a point at home. I agree with you. You don't know much about this Denver team. I think you know a little bit more about the Baltimore team than you do about this Denver team with Baltimore and the competition that they've played. I do have Baltimore winning by a field goal, but I do not like this one bit. This opened up very, very weirdly at a -2?
-2.
Denver, and now it's +1. It's just weird. A lean on Baltimore here, but I can't touch this one.
Yeah, I'm not touching this one either. I'm going to lean Denver with the point at home. But you're right. I don't really know a lot about Denver, and Lamar Jackson's got a bad back. It's just I don't like this game.
All right. Well, maybe you'll like this game. One more for me. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Green Bay Packers. The week one, this is what I'm talking about. Week one, the Steelers look like, hey, this team might be good. They went into Buffalo and beat the Bills, and Green Bay just absolutely shit the bed against what now looks like a very mediocre New Orleans Saints team. Now you fast forward 2 more weeks, the Steelers look like they're closer to the Jets than they are a Super Bowl, and the Packers are back to their 30-point-per-game winning ways. Pittsburgh, I actually, this is another one of those games where I'm trying to figure out why the line isn't way worse than what it is. I don't like Pittsburgh at all here. They still have some injury issues. Deontay Johnson is questionable if he comes back this week. And then Green Bay, I mean, look, at home, Rodgers has all of his weapons at full disposal. The offense has been clicking the last 2 weeks. As long as Roethlisberger is the quarterback of Pittsburgh, I'm not even sure if they're going to win another game. This Pittsburgh team is not trustworthy at all. I'm going to lay those points and put $50 on the Packers.
I just cannot wait to fast forward to the end of this season where Pittsburgh goes and wins the Super Bowl, and Panthers see, I told you Pittsburgh's going to win the Super Bowl. I never faded on them whatsoever. It's going to be very reminiscent to me and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes, right.
I'm with you here, man. I think Green Bay has this one. I don't know if they cover it. I've got this as a 6-point game, and this is not Green Bay hate. It really is not Green Bay hate here. I think they win this one. Congrats, Green Bay. Yada yada yada. Sorry, Pittsburgh. A lean on Pittsburgh with those points, though. Yeah,
leaning Pittsburgh in this one as well. Just it seems like a touch too many points. It's an interesting one. That's all I got for that.
That's all. I'm done.
I am looking at. Let's see here. Yeah. Carolina going to Dallas. I am still catching Carolina plus 4.5 on the road. I like it. I think their defense might be for real. I'm going to jump on it. $25 on the Panthers.
4.5. Yeah. I mean, I like Carolina with the 4. The 4.5 is I'm not going to do it on the show to you, but this might be a which book is that at? Oh, that's at my bookie. Promo code Absolute DJ.
Yeah.
Oh man, I might be going to my bookie and placing that bet off the show. I like Carolina there with those points. Dallas, I got them winning it barely. They probably get the win. They probably not knock off Carolina this week, but I think it's going to be a close one. A lean and some moral support on the Panthers.
I think we get some questions answered about the Panthers this week because we love their defense, but we love their defense because they played the Jets, the Saints, and the Texans. Dallas, with that offense, is way more potent. Kind of excited to see that matchup. And Carolina, Sam Darnold, again, should be able to put up some numbers because that Dallas defense is not vastly improved from last year. So excited to watch this game. I think Dallas does win the game, but I actually don't have a play on this. Okay. Lean Dallas.
Gotcha. All right, next up, Arizona is going to Los Angeles. I like the Cardinals plus 4.5. I don't have them winning. I do have them keeping it close. So I'm going to put $25 on the Cardinals plus the points.
To disagree with you, I do have them winning. I have them winning by a game-winning field goal.
Oh, okay.
So honestly, I should be betting this one, but of course I can't. Moral support. I think Arizona outright wins this game. It's going to be a good one. And I kind of like the over, too, in that one. So lean on Arizona here and a lean on that over.
Another high-scoring affair. I definitely think this is another one of them. This is a great week of NFL football. I like the Cardinals. They do seem to find – this might be one of the luckier NFL teams. You can go back to last year where they eke out some Hail Marys and whatnot. But I'll lean the Cardinals here. But the Rams at home – tough to bet against them. I'll lean the Cardinals just because of those points.
Yeah, the Rams are good. They're coming off an important game, and it's a division rival. Those tend to be close and kind of ugly games. All right, last one for me. Speaking of, Seattle is going to San Francisco. We know the head coach of San Francisco doesn't have any genitalia. If you listen to earlier in the week, we saw Jimmy G just absolutely implode, melt down last week too. I just don't trust Jimmy G. I think Seattle is going to get their minds right after losing a game they shouldn't have lost in Minnesota. So I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks plus 2.5 on the road, $25.
Here's one where I'm going to outright disagree with you. I think I think last week was starting of the decline of the Seattle team. I think it showed a lot of vulnerabilities. I think their defense still is not right. I think Jimmy G could have a solid game. I don't have this as an absolute blowout, but I do have San Francisco winning this one by about 3 points. So it's razor thin for me. Slight lean on the Niners here.
Yeah, another one of those NFC West battles. The Seahawk defense, 462 yards allowed, 307 in the ground or in the air. This is an opportunity for Garoppolo to really, shine. And just make sure 49ers don't give Russ 37 seconds, to drive down and kick a game-winning field goal. I'm going to lean the 49ers here.
It's a little early in the season for Seattle to begin that, the implosion. It's usually a little bit later in the season, isn't it?
I think the implosion started happening last year, though. So that's my whole thing. I think this is the implosion of the Pete Carroll era. I think we started to see that last year. I mean, we've got a goddamn Seattle Frauds t-shirt for a reason.
USC's looking for a coach.
There you go. You think they bring him back?
Isn't he like 80 years old? Like, he's old.
Man. He's ancient. Well, that's all I've got. So, all NFL all day. That's what you get on Saturday, Max. That's it.
That is it. Hey, download the DJs app for Android or iOS. Let us know anything about our picks, your picks, anyone's picks over on Twitter at Betting Absolute. No matter where you listen to, please highest rating, comment, subscribe, download, and listen to every single episode. Panther, take us home.
Brian likes to always bet on the Sex Panthers. I don't know if that's a Carolina reference or he just likes my picks. I don't know, but hey, I do have a Panther parlay for you. I actually love these plays. Love the Titans against the Jets. Love the Packers against the Steelers. And love Tampa Bay to run up against the Patriots. Put those three together. That'll be your Panther parlay. We're hanging out on the website, the app, Facebook, Twitter. Holler us out. Give us a shout out by name. We'll holler right back. But most importantly, let us know what you did last week, what you're going to do this week. And when it's all said and done, kids, it's all make some money, fools.
Information on this podcast may not be construed to offer any kind of investment advice or recommendations. Under no circumstances will the owners, operators, or guests of this podcast be held responsible for damages related to its contents.
In 2020, we all miss seeing friends and loved ones. With the U.S. Bank Altitude Connect Visa Signature Card, it's easy to reconnect again. Earn 5 times points on prepaid hotels and car rentals booked directly in the Altitude Rewards Center. Earn 4 times points on travel and at gas stations. 2 times points on groceries, dining, and streaming services. Plus, get 50,000 bonus points when you spend $3,000 within the first 120 days. That's a $500 value. Learn more at usbank.com/altitudeconnect. The U.S. Bank Altitude Connect Visa Signature Card is issued by U.S. Bank National Association, N.D. Some restrictions may apply. Member FDIC.